Speaking of OV hosts,
we mentioned it. And I said it on accident.
I've been waiting on this.
I've been waiting on this. We know who got knocked out. We know who got knocked out. Nigga.
Yeah.
We know who got knocked out.
Bring him back. I knock him out with 2.
Put him up. Put him up.
Put him up.
Man, I can't lie. All right, to bring it into this may be single-handedly the greatest rap beef I've ever witnessed in my life. Like, this trade back and forth going between these two guys for essentially a month has been wild to just to witness. First of all, you'd be crazy to not admit that 2 of these guys, if not one of them, is at least in your top 3. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to
Drake is, as much as you can critique Drake and give Drake some sense of criticism on his personal life or who he is, we cannot negate the fact that bro has made some great music for us. These last 10 years, he's made some iconic music. So, but on the contrary, we got a person that's been so versatile and embracive with the culture, whether people are paying attention and realizing it or not. So it's been different.
Staple in the industry.
You know what I'm saying? It's been crazy different to see 2 pioneers in their own light clash. But to be honest with you, the outcome of it, I knew if it happened that this would be the outcome. Kendrick just has a deeper spiritual and soulful bag to reach into to execute in moments like this. You know what I'm saying?
His wordplay and his extension of his wordplay is crazy, man.
Crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's just just the timeline of how everything happened. I don't know. It was crazy seeing things happen in real time. Especially Kendrick posts the links on Twitter, back to back to back to back. I was just yeah, bro, I stopped anything I was doing. I'm this nigga dropped again? You know what I'm saying? Bro, and it's just he showed everybody his versatility. I mean, if you didn't already know Kendrick was like that, I don't know what to tell you. But it was dope to see that it was dope to see his catalog. I believe his catalog streams went up 400%. During the whole battle, Damn went back in the top 100 albums. Pimp a Butterfly went back up in the top 100. Man. So it just seems a lot of these new listeners because a lot of these young people they were younger around the Drake and Meek Mill stuff that happened. You know what I'm saying? So now a lot of them got a chance to witness as young adults, almost even teenagers, young adults. They got a chance to witness a real live rap battle against the biggest artists in the world. So I feel that gave them a chance to go back and listen to everybody's music. Of course, people gonna have their sides, but once they started realizing how crazy K-Dot was doing, I feel once the dust settled and people just, hey,
look at this. They were able to see.
Hey, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, shout out to both of them. Drake, he always gonna be one of them ones. Statistically wise, he's given us tracks to our lives, you know what I mean? If you grew up with Drake, 15, you already knew 14, that. You know what I mean? So, but Kendrick, he has a timeless aspect to all his projects. He takes his time with it, you know what I mean? I know people wanted to talk about, oh, he doesn't drop as much, and I feel
need to.
I feel as a fan perspective, that sounds cool outside looking in, but as a songwriter and artist myself, the kind of artist that Kendrick is, sometimes you gotta experience life to write music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially the stuff he talks about. It's not easy to go in the booth every other month and just start. I mean, you could talk about whatever you want. Obviously, a good songwriters can talk about anything. But if music is, and that's something that you're passionate about, and you use it to talk about what you're going through, you gotta spend. You gotta take time to. You gotta give yourself time to grow. You gotta give yourself time to experience stuff so you can have new stuff to talk about. And that's what Kendrick has done. He's always given us new material, new content to talk about, you know what I mean? And different ways, different sounds. None of it is the same.
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
Nothing
sounds the same. So
I think it's when it comes down to him too, you have an artist in Drake that knows how to seize each moment, knows how to be current with the times. I think with his general approach with music, it's going to be more sensible for him to, let's say, drop once a year, where the creative limit is for him. He can definitely exceed it. It's not that he can't pass that, but he realized with his algorithm that this is what is working. You know what I'm saying? Predominantly, my fan base is all women, so yeah, I can easily just keep talking about my experiences with women, and you know, and sprinkle some hip hop in there for my bros. You know what I'm saying? But Kendrick's whole approach is like, how can I be as vulnerable as possible every time while giving them a classic? Kendrick is one of those artists where you essentially get a full cohesive body of work, literally every project. You know what I'm saying? The themes, exactly. The themes might be different, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately he's approaching it like a concept. Like I seen a post. I remember telling you about this, John. It was this dude that kind of broke down the themes, each theme of, you know, Kendrick's album. Good Kid, Mad City was a short film. You know what I'm saying? To Pimp a Butterfly was a poem. Damn was a magazine. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that Drake can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mr. Morale was a fucking Broadway play. You know what I'm saying? These themes,
he just hasn't given us that.
He just has not ventured in that realm at all. But you have a person that thrives and lives in this area, like literally every time he goes at bat. So if you gonna give us this every time, bro, take 2 years. Who gives a fuck?
I feel like if Drake has given us that, it was either it was Take Care and Nothing was the same. But I feel like after that, you know, he's just been feeding the streets, and that's fine because the streets needed music. We needed hits. We needed joints we could bop to. We needed joints we could drive to. You know what I'm saying? We needed, you know what I mean? Like I feel like those are two different artists that excel the best at what they do. You know what I mean? But when it came to this rap battle, you know, and we talking about lyricism, we talking about, you know, just bars, we talking about strategy,
cadence, tempo.
We talking about flow, cadence, tone, timbre. We talking about
how this song flows into this song,
and I don't know that
how the ending can connect you to the beginning.
Like, and I know the average listener doesn't really care too much about that. They're just like, and I get it. Some people are just like, Kendrick's voice is they don't like the voice of Kendrick. And I hear that because I know everybody has like taste for everything, but you got when it comes to hip hop and you're talking about just hip hop, you're not talking about hits, you're not talking about you know, like number ones, you're just talking about art, you're talking about, you know, expression. And I feel like when it comes to hip hop, there's nobody, at least right now, that's doing it better than Kendrick when it comes to painting a picture, when it comes to rapping ability, when it comes to just, you know, literature. Like the way that he writes is literally literature, you know, from his rhyme schemes, from his imagery, from just his flow patterns. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's people that sit down and study his his rhymes, because you're not gonna get it the first time. You're probably not gonna get it the second time.
No,
and that's fine because everybody don't want to listen to music to read a book. Some people just want to have music so they could listen, get ready. You know,
I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So come on, it just depends. It just depends on the type of listener. Is like you should be able to appreciate both. And I've seen like so many people pick sides based off of tweets online without doing their research. So many people was picking sides just like not even just thinking. They just
off
like,
of the hype, bro. Just off of
hype. You know what I mean? It's like you should be able to appreciate what both people are doing. Of course, you're gonna have your biases, but it's like
at the end of the day, it's music, bro.
Yeah,
you know
you should be able to appreciate
how
both.
that shit.
Yeah, you should be able to appreciate. Like I was I'm like, I'm, you know, obviously gonna steer more towards Kendrick because I started like making music and rapping because of artists like Kendrick, B.O.B., you know, that started out of lyricism, Kanye, Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just like I can still appreciate Drake, I can still appreciate Kendrick, but at the same time it's just like I'm not gonna hop on Twitter. Man, it's just like people have groupthink mentality, and it's crazy because you'll see a whole bunch of people like and repost a tweet, and the minute somebody sees it, they'll just run with it. Like you don't even think for yourselves, and it's on both sides. Like you should be able to think for yourself. Like see a tweet, be like, I don't think that's true, or
have your own
no
biased
proof.
opinion,
or you know what I'm saying. And it's okay to be biased, but at least be open. Like have an open mind to being wrong. You know what I mean? People don't want to be wrong. That's the problem.
Bro, I like it because I'm a comedian, and when beef
in between rappers are going on, they structure their songs or disses like a joke. Delivery, the punchline. And Troy, you said it yourself. When the songs flow from one another, you can wrap around back to the first song to bring you a story.
I think you know what I think is important to realize too in moments like this, like when there's a beef, like a predominant beef that's happening within the culture, we really have to consider how majority of these people consume music. Like, you know, like, and I think a lot of that does come with age. Like, I can't expect the things that I gravitate towards when it comes down to music at my older age, like how I'm healing, how I'm putting things in front of me that only help my evolution. I can't expect a 17 or 16-year-old kid to have that same mentality. So on the contrary, you got the 17, 18-year-old kid who might really just love Drake because off the strength of the music that Drake is making. It's perfect for little bro in his time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
they going to football games, they partying.
You know what I'm saying? He's not thinking about He's not thinking about how to heal or what he needs to heal from. He probably ain't even been through no shit that needs healing yet. So it's like
not yet.
He hear Kendrick and it's like, nigga, what the fuck is this shit? It's like
I'm not trying to dive deep into my soul.
Right. I'd rather look at a magazine right now than to read an autobiography. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's, once you realize that, like, it's a huge difference on where you can see how people like choose their side. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to shit like this.
No, that's real. That's real, and that's why you saw a lot of people go his earlier work, and it's cool to see in real time, like that happening. You know, like it's cool to see in real time. Oh, his whole catalog just skyrocketed. You know what I mean? In percentages of streams and just listens and things like that. And it's, you know, obvious it's for a reason. That stuff just, yes, of course, the rap beef, everything brought exposure to it, but the fact that it's still going up and a lot of his stuff is still getting replayed and replay value, it just shows you his music. It just shows you what timeless music and an event like this in the world can do to somebody's career in their music. You know what I mean? It's longevity in the game. Yeah, I know Drake just dropped a joint with Sexy Red. He rapped over the BBL Drizzy joint. I mean, you know, shout out Sexy Red. She from the Lou, you know.
So you know what I want to, what perception I immediately got from hearing that record, and I listened to it like fresh when I woke up this morning, right?
I haven't listened to it yet.
So what I heard, like what I got from it was like, you ever realize in boxing, like they say one of the best techniques for when you get hit is to go with the wave of the punch.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really? Like, so you instead of pushing against it and resisting the punch, sometimes it might be best to just it might hurt a little less if you throw your neck that way. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of what Drake is doing. He's seen how many burning bushes has Drake in the middle of it when it came down to this beef. You got Metro Boomin making beats over here about you.
You got Future talking shit.
You on 4 different records. Future talking shit.
You got Rick Ross.
Hop on Future shit talking shit. Rick Ross over here trolling.
Come on, man.
It's like the best way
came out the woodworks.
You see what I'm saying? The best way for you to embrace all of this is to literally embrace all of this. You know what I'm saying?
Use
like,
what they give you.
with it.
He just got to keep doing what he's been doing. But I also think that he should take a break.
Drake,
for sure.
I think we've had Drake so many times, and I think, not saying like we don't appreciate him, but I think he should take a break so we can appreciate him more.
Yeah, he got to step into his Wheezy era.
Yeah, like if he just takes a break, relax, come back with a classic album. Don't even say you're working on it. Don't do no features. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just let the industry do what it do. Come back like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Come back in a year and a half. You know what I mean? And then just drop an album. You know, I think people, once the dust settles, it'll allow people to appreciate you more. And you know what I mean? Like, give us a hip hop album, like a real hip hop joint. You giving us everything. You giving us hits. You give us pop records. You give us
everything.
You know what I mean? Like UK joints. You know what I mean? You giving us dance joints. Like, there's nothing that you can't do. But I mean, it depends on where he's at.
Yeah,
probably not, but
it's just real. Like
because he talked about that shit. He talked about shit a while ago.
I mean,
I remember him talking about that
so
shit.
much.
This is the most he's ever. This is the most he's rapped in a long time. Like just rapped. You know what I'm saying? Like
we've seen this pattern though so much with Drake. Like at this point in time, like when it comes down to Drake taking an L, yeah, the smart thing to do would be to just give it grace, kind of back off, come back at a reinventive time, and like really turn up when it comes down to your art. But I think what makes this one different in particular is you were severed. Your head was severed in this. You know what I'm saying? To a point where you got chewed up so bad publicly that people are kind of shunning your previous work. It's hard for people to listen to your older stuff. They're going through it, they're dissecting it, they're pulling out questionable bars and stuff like that. Now with Drake, essentially how I look at him creatively right now, his back is against the wall. He could take a little break, come back, give us more of the same shit, but essentially that's just going to cause him to get reignited again. Right now, with how he's been tested and who he's been tested by, it would only benefit him if he came and did everything that people were not expecting him to do. So you see how, you know what I'm saying, and we'll get into that later, but the list of, I mean, the number of where he was on that top 100 list, he needs to focus on how he can make a body of work that can compete within the top 20 of that list. If not, you're gonna get this backlash essentially for the remainder of your career. And it's like his capability doesn't deserve that. But if he's gonna be complacent in his creativity, then buckle up. It's gonna be a wild ride for it.
Yeah, I mean, we need another classic from him. You know what I'm saying?